Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Annette Feravich with Healthy Mind, Body, Spirit. And of course, you can find me on the internet at www.healthymindbodyspirit.net. Let me make sure I'm going live here. Oh, looks like I am. Okay, I am here on day 5 of my healthy cleanse. Sorry for sometimes those interruptions, but I'm still not 100% used to all this. But day 5 of the healthy cleanse, what I've done now for you is I've actually prepared meals. So this is a good day for us to take a look at what we're doing for the healthy cleanse, even though we could have done this, before we started the healthy cleanse. But again, remember, this isn't about perfection. Believe me, I am getting so much out of this cleanse, I can't tell you because it wouldn't be, right to tell you about that, on live YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, but one thing I haven't said is, remember, I'm drinking lemon water every day. So that has been something that I've kept up with constantly through this healthy cleanse diet. You don't see beautiful lemons in there because I just squish it in there. That's the way that I like to drink my lemon water. And I also like a little stevia in it because I guarantee I will be drinking over 32 ounces when I do that for myself. Stevia doesn't raise insulin levels, which reminds me, I want to tell you now what is going on today because I will be back later on at 4 o'clock. And on our 4 o'clock agenda is we are going to be talking about sugar and insulin resistance. So 4 o'clock today, sometimes I get on a little bit late. And one of the reasons why I get on a little bit late is because I'm always working on these things for you. So that's the reason why. So let me just quickly show you a few things that I have going on or had going on. So I spent yesterday, day 4, really, and day 3 some too as well. I put the oven on and I just said I'm roasting everything. As you might know, I bought way more food than I needed for myself here. So I have like meals. Oh, I can't believe I did that. But let me show you a couple things that I did. So first of all, as you know, I cooked acorn squash, and I've got a recipe there for day 4, and there's my salad that I had with some balsamic vinaigrette and arugula and tomatoes, and that's all that I had. One of the things I don't know if I told you is I scored that acorn squash, and then I put butter and make a little bit of brown sugar, just a little bit, and then I put that in the acorn squash, and I cooked it soft side up is what I did. And like I said, a day later, that was even better because the juices from the apples and the cherries had soaked into the acorn squash. So that was actually a pretty good meal. Easy to do because it's really a lot of cooking and the chopping. For me, I don't like to chop, but it really wasn't very much for me. So that was a delicious meal for me. Now here we have got, that's where I cooked the acorn squash. So you can see I cooked the other 2 acorn squash. Those are scored, and there is the butter and the brown sugar that I brushed on there. I also salt and peppered it as well. And then there are the beets. So what did I do for the beets? I cut them up, not really quartered. I even made them a little smaller, like potato wedges almost. And that was very easy to do as well. And then I coated that with olive oil and some salt and pepper. Depending on how much olive oil you put on there, that might be a little cheat sheet. And so is the brown sugar, a little bit of a cheat, but you have to make these things sweet and you have to make your diet worth it for you. That's what I want to do. Yeah, I'm not maintaining smooth streaming. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the Wi-Fi on over here. And as we know, I don't know why I'm always not maintaining smooth streaming over here since I pay, an arm and a leg for Xfinity to make sure that that's smooth streaming. And I don't know if it's YouTube or not, but I'm just letting you know. All right, so back to me for a minute. All right, so here, and then after I put those beets in the oven with the olive oil, salt, and pepper on, then that's all I had to do was cook them. And look at these beautiful beets, and you will see that I had these beautiful beets on a salad yesterday, and they were delicious. Barefoot Contessa said vinegar. No vinegar, no vinegar. These salt and pepper, olive oil, that was it, and it was really delicious. Okay, let me show you something else, because remember, so acorn squash I stuffed in the oven and roasted that. scored, right? And with that deliciousness on top. So beets I went and roasted in the oven as well. Let's look at the next thing that I put in the oven, shall we? So here we can see I did the Brussels sprouts and the cauliflower. I should have put onions in there. I didn't put onions, and I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't. But olive oil, salt, and pepper, and put those in the oven, and I cooked them up only part way because there are so many there. I don't know what to do with it, right? I told you I cooked so much food. I'm not quite sure what to do with it, but I'm pretty sure that I can freeze some of that. And then when I cook it up again, I won't be cooking it up into mush. So I cooked it, probably about 75% of the way through, I would say. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and continue. I know I have to smile on these things, so when we get a picture, I've got a picture of me smiling. All right, so next one. What else did I do? Now here is the spaghetti squash. And for the spaghetti squash, see the picture in the background? Again, olive oil, salt, and pepper. That's all that I did. I have one side up and the other side down. We cook those face down is what we do. And as you know, we can scrape that out, and that scraping that out looks like spaghetti. Doesn't taste like pasta though. There's the big spoiler alert for anyone doing this. But I will say that I really did have generous salt and pepper on there and olive oil, and it ended up actually turning out to be tasty. Again, I've said this to you before, none of this, none of this is really my kind of food, which goes to show you that trying to make these recipes and make them work for you is what is so key to sticking with the diet. And remember, it's only 7 days, and if you do it like I did, you kind of get some pluses and minuses in there too. One of the things I'm doing today is I'm fasting, and at 4 o'clock today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about intermittent fasting. So today, the only thing I had was coffee with a little bit of cream. Now, again, that's cheating, right? I'm not supposed to have caffeine, and this is caffeinated coffee. And also I have a little bit of cream in there. But I was giving myself to, and you're like, how is that fasting, Dr. Feravich? Well, it's actually not. I forgot that today was kind of a day of fast. And I had my treat of coffee, but that's all that I'm going to have. So I do think until about 6 o'clock today, where I'm going to put some of these things in the oven. So there's some intermittent fasting, and I'll talk to you about that at 4 o'clock. If you come and see me on YouTube, I'll be there live talking about sugar and insulin resistance, okay? All right, now let's take a look at just a little bit more, and then we are all done for this live presentation, okay? All right. So what was the next thing? So this is the zucchini that I put and roasted in the oven. And I don't have what I had in the back there for you for that zucchini. But what I had there was salt, pepper, of course, olive oil, and then I put that in the oven and I roasted that zucchini. But then what I also added after it came out of the oven was, and there are a couple cheat things, but remember, when I'm cheating, I actually keep that cheating down to a minimum, if I can. So also, I'm getting the picture here so I can see everything that was in the picture that I added. A little bit of there, just to make sure that they were sticking together. So olive oil, salt and pepper, I roasted them. Then when they came out of the oven, I added a little bit of breadcrumbs. That's a little bit of cheating. I added garlic. I added Italian seasoning. Like I said, I added Parmesan cheese as well, which was also a little bit of cheating. And then the other thing that I added is I added collagen to that. And it's a Shackled Collagen that I added, and Shackled Collagen is a new product. So let's just take a quick peek at that. So here, they said, I don't know if you could see that, there we go, collagen. And they said in the recipe that I could use, what I had was chia seeds, and if you mix that a little bit with water, it becomes very glutinous, right? So that's another way to get those zucchini meatballs to stick together. Well, mine were sticking together pretty well, and what I used, again, was the collagen, because it's a protein. Those chia seeds provide a protein that helps it stick together. And I thought, well, I need to put collagen, and I want to try this collagen, Shackled Collagen, because I know their products are so fantastic. And so I added that. Now, unfortunately, it did not keep my zucchini meatball, which is kind of an oxymoron, from falling apart. They really did fall apart, and I think that that's just because I wasn't diligent enough as far as when I was cooking them in the frying pan. So I put them in a frying pan. I didn't add any oil because there was significant oil there, which actually made them kind of burn a little bit because I'm not really very good at, not a great cook, all right? But here is the final product, which you know, it doesn't look so great, but this is spaghetti squash zucchini meat is what it is. And so that's a pretty amazing dish. I think I have a picture of that as well. Maybe. No, I know I have a picture of it, but you know what? I didn't put it up there. So at 4 o'clock, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the picture of that zucchini meatball dish. Although, it's not that pretty. How did it taste? On a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, it was a lot of work. It kind of was a lot of work. And I would have to say a 5.5, not quite a 6, not quite average, right? At first, when I started eating those zucchini meatballs, it was delicious. But I do have to say, because this isn't necessarily the food that I would try. So you have great recipes where you would actually try kinds of and make it really well worth your while, right, to make these recipes. So it was a lot of work, and it was the bang for the buck. But I will say the beets were not a lot of work, and that was great bang for my buck. Okay, and then, I wanted to show you one more thing. So here are the cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. You can see I like them a little crispy, and sometimes they get a little crispy, but that's why I pulled them out earlier, so that when I crisp them up a little bit more later on when I cook them, they won't be burnt. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you today. So that was actually a pretty busy day, but it really wasn't hard work, because what did I do? Turn my oven on convection oven to 400 degrees. I mixed those things up, mostly consisting of olive oil, salt, and then a few other things. And then today, what I'm hoping, cross your fingers, or by tomorrow when I come back on again, day number 6, hopefully I'll have all that fruit cut up. So fruits, I love fruit, so it's always going to be part of my diet anyway. But I've got, you know, again, I'm cooking for an Italian family of 16 or so, and I'm not quite sure. That's all I have for you today until I am back again at 4 o'clock. Day 5, thank you for joining me, and my name is Dr. Annette Feravich, and I am with Healthy Mind, Body, Spirit. You can find me on the internet, www.healthymindbodyspirit.net. Make sure that you subscribe to my videos so you always know when I'm on live. Make sure that you like my videos, and please share my videos, because this is what I do. I like to bring you guys information, and I hope that the information is worthwhile. All right, thanks for joining me.